Hello, this is Jacob. Just reading Romans 6 today about where Paul talks about that we are dead with Christ. If we are saved, we are born again, we are not alive in the flesh anymore. We are dead with Christ. And that's one of the great mysteries of the New Testament. The believing church should understand that their true position in Christ is they are dead. Some people might say, well, I've been divorced, or I've been this, or I've been that, but they're actually dead with Christ. It's called reckon the old man dead. Your new identity is in Christ, a son or daughter of God. And right here it says, 6:14 of Romans, sin shall not have dominion over you, for you are not under the law, but under grace. And then 16 says, know ye not that to whom you yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants you are to whom you obey, whether to sin unto death or obedience unto righteousness? But God be thanked that you are the servants of sin, but you have obeyed from the heart that form of doctrine which was delivered to you. Being made then free from sin, you became the servants of righteousness. So right there you have a good word from the New Testament, Paul's gospel, about the importance of identifying in the death of Christ, but also his resurrection life that is operating by faith. You count things that God says are true. If God says you're risen with Christ, you are raised with him, then it's true. You got to count that. You got to count what faith will count, things that can't always be seen so clearly in the flesh or the natural eyes. But Jesus said, when you're born again, you see the kingdom. You see God's handiwork. You don't just see nature always the way you used to. Anyway, up here it says in Romans 6, 7, and 8, it says, for he that is dead is freed from sin. Now, if we be dead with Christ, we believe that we shall also live with him. Right there's your key. Sometimes people would say Paul is a dead man with Christ. He accepted his death sentence, but he lives by the Spirit. It says we know no one after the flesh. But it's also important that we yield our members to righteousness. We have a daily choice to yield to what God says in his word. Let it germinate in our hearts. Let it grow. Or we yield to foolishness or sin, or we still have that choice. That's Romans 7, and talks about how there's a battle going on for righteousness and evil. Even in Christians, there's that battle. You have to keep growing, keep going, experiencing. Sometimes God chastens people to make them so they're able to be holy. Holiness is a fruit of chastening sometimes. It says in Hebrews 12, 6-10. Anyway, that's a good word today, is that yielding. Don't accept that you're alive in the flesh like a Philistine. You're dead. If you're a Christian, you believe in Christ, you've been born again, regenerated, then you're dead with Christ. You're dead to this world. You're dead with Christ, but you're also alive in him in heavenly places. So that's the good news. We have natural bodies still, but we also have spiritual life indwelling our hearts. And that's one of the best things about what Jesus has done. So God bless.